Aman, will start with your thing. In your mail ID, you are mentioned some aspirant, Aman. So what is actually your meaning about that one? Any specific thing, or during your UPSC preparation you kept it?
Sir, when I was making my mail ID for UPSC purposes only, then I tried to associate it with my aspirant identity. So it will just give me a moral sign also that I'm an aspirant and I want to become what I want to become. So I gave this usual name.
Okay. Aman, what is this generations they call by some names? Which is generation names? Like
Sir,
millennial, Zen is Gen Z, like that.
sir,
So 1999 born is called by what words?
sir, it will be called Gen Z, Generation Z.
Okay.
So
Any specific character about this one, or any specific scenario they these people are born?
sir, one specific scenario that is associated with Gen Z is that they are tech savvy. They have seen the boom of digital revolution, and unlike the previous generation, which is Gen Y, the people born after 1997, they have this exposure and they are sensitive to environmental and animal concerns as well.
Okay. Have you heard of the word called Y2K problem?
Sorry, sir,
Y2K.
Y2K. Uh, Sir, I've heard it, but I'm unable to recall right now, sir. I've heard it.
Okay, fine. So Panwari, right? Yeah,
Sir,
Panwari. Address for the postal office, Panwari.
sir,
This okay, fine. What is this Panwari means?
sir, sir, I have tried to know the region of this nomenclature of my village, and I have come to know that there was presence of pan shops. Pan is a traditional food food or snack we can say in Bihar. So there were a lot of these shops in that locality that may have attributed to this name.
Okay. So what is the just describe you about the beetle. Have you heard of beetle?
BTech.
Beetle, which is used in pawn.
Sir, beetle is there.
Hmm.
Um, Sorry, sir, I'm not aware about the beetle. I know it's one of the ingredient of pan, but I haven't studied that.
Okay, fine. So why how this pawn is help? Is there is any benefit in using this beetle nuts? Beetle nuts. Health benefits are there anything?
Sir, usually it's not considered as a healthy food, but
Hmm.
sometimes if some people have digestive problem, it is recommended that with some tuna it can be used and it can cure it. But usually it is not considered a good hobby.
Okay. So in Indian history, usually there will be when we start reading the Indian history, particularly modern India, they
Sir,
will talks about the movements like civil disobedience movement, Quit India movement, right?
sir,
But the particularly in modern India, when you talk about modern India,
sir.
this Battle of Buxar plays one role.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain me what is that role, or what is the significance of this Battle of Buxar?
Sir, sir, Battle of Buxar happened in 1764,
Okay.
and we can say that in this battle, the Britishers fought with the combined army of the existing government in Bengal, the Mughal government, which was represented by Shah Alam II, and there was one more participant. I'm unable to recall, sir. Sir, this battle sealed the control of British in all over India. After it, 1765 Allahabad Treaty happens, and now the British supremacy is established.
Okay, fine. So, Bhoj, you have mentioned about Bhojpur, right? Bhojpur.
Sir,
What is the script of this Bhojpuri language? In which
sir,
script is it written?
Kathi script is there.
Hmm.
Kathi and sometimes Devanagari is also used, but Kathi and Devanagari both are used with Bhojpuri.
Okay. There was a phrase which was said about, I'm vaguely remember, but it's, I think, Rajendra Prasad or somebody.
Sir.
To, he was the person who asked to create the first Bhojpuri cinema.
He was first to, sir. Sorry, sir.
First, I asked the people of Bhojpur to create one cinema, Bhojpuri cinema. Have you heard of this name or that slang or something which is very famous? Something in yellow sari, Mother Ganga's yellow sari. Have you heard of this?
No, sir. Sorry, sir. I haven't heard.
Okay. So tell me two important things you are observed in Bihar, right? Which can be a good, it may be a scheme or it may be a practices, which can be implemented
Which can be implemented
throughout India.
throughout.
Throughout India. You are asked to explain about that one. So two schemes, to practice anything, sir. I felt it is very good in Bihar. We can implement throughout India. What are the things?
Sir, I would say the first scheme is Jivika. It's a
Okay.
self-help group of scheme of Bihar government, and
Okay.
it has actually led to women empowerment at ground, and which is also fostering the spirit of entrepreneurship in the women. So, if that is copied at central government and can be extended to other states, it will definitely leads in bottom-up development of women. That would be first, sir. Second, sir, I will say the tech-based modernization of our state. Although Bihar is a state with digital divide and there is a lot of digital illiteracy as well, but there is this right to public services and all the government documents that we aim that can be obtained through Common Services Center. So that is also present in many states, but if implemented at a pan-India level, it will be better.
Okay. Is there is any particular themes are used in Bhojpuri cinemas?
Themes.
Yeah.
Uh, Sir, in my experience, whatever I have watched, Bhojpuri cinemas are filled with the Bihari culture that is there, and this is the culture where we respect our elders. There is this communitarian feeling when familial bonds are strong. Also, the culture of violence that prevails in the Purvanchal region, apart from Bihar, also that is also portrayed. And to a larger extent, Bhojpuri cinema is still copying what happens in Bollywood. So,
Okay. So when you talk about Bhojpuri cinema, as a person from outsider,
sir,
as a person, I was so much involved in social media or YouTube, sorry, so whatever maybe.
sir,
For me, an outsider, whenever the Bhojpuri cinema start comes to the discussion, there will always talk subject obscene, vulgarity, and sex. Is
sir.
really it is so.
Uh, Sir, I believe it is true to some extent. Although Bhojpuri is filled with lot of cultural heritage, but for the commercial purposes, it has resorted to obscenity,
Okay.
and which is also prevalent in other cinema as well, sir. I would
Hmm.
not say that Bollywood, in fact, Bollywood have also that kind of thing, but there has been this tendency where we associate Bhojpuri with Bihar. But there are also regional languages, for example, Mathili is there. So government is taking steps to curb it, but to some extent it's present there.
Okay, fine. Is there is any political or economical aspects discussed in the cinema? Have you heard of anything like that?
Uh, no, sir, I have not observed that keenly.
Okay. So tell me two major political unrest in the world. Political unrest in the world. Two issues immediately comes to your mind.
Sir, the first thing that comes under in my mind is the rupture of the liberal-based international order that has happened with second Trump administration. We can
Okay.
see all around the world, its symptoms can be felt even in Western world as well. And the second, I would say the ethnic conflicts largely which happens in Middle East, for example, Israel-Palestine issue, and there's this war between UAE, Saudi Arabia. So, sir, to my mind, these two are there.
Okay. Why this Taiwan is very important to China?
Sir,
So when you compare to the China mainland, it's not even a peanut-sized land. But
sir.
still, why it holds such a significance for China?
Sir, I would say even an inch of land in international politics matter because it becomes a matter of pride. And historically, the Taiwan was part of China, but after the communist revolution, it went to democratic forces. Also, there is this war between US and China. There is a likelihood of war. So Taiwan can be an important battleground. So if China loses Taiwan, US will get upper hand. Apart from that, sir, Taiwan also has a lot of semiconductor industries. So economically also it's important for China.
Okay. So, one hypothetical question to you. Suppose
Sir,
tomorrow,
sir,
one hypothetical question to you. Tomorrow, Jerusalem will be given to you,
sir.
right? There are three religions are fighting for that land, right? What you will take a stand?
Uh, Sir, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the place
Yes,
where it's an origin for three important religions of the world,
sir,
right? The
sir,
main fight, main thing with their discussions or everything is their rights for the religions.
sir,
Tomorrow, the Jerusalem rights has been given to you. You are appointed as a particular special representative by UN to Jerusalem.
sir.
Now you can take a call. Now three religions are putting their before you regarding their land rights on thing. What stand you will take or how to deal that?
Uh, Sir, I understand Jerusalem has a history of a lot of wars between religions. So, if I favor one particular religion, it is likely to create discontent in others one. And I believe world is moving toward multiculturalism. Even the hardcore Islamist states are adopting modernity. For example, Saudi Arabia. So, sir, I would definitely not favor one over other. I would try to take all three together, although it's easier said than done. But I will start a community dialogue among the members of the religion, and will try to start something which will be inclusive to all.
Okay. So now there is a disputes in Myanmar regarding this election junta, right? What what good role can we play by India in this?
So sir, usually India has been not very vocal about the democratic transition that is happening in Myanmar, but I believe we can share this to the Janta government. Although there are a strategic limitation to that because China is also there, but back channel diplomacy is something we can do. And on humanitarian ground, for example, the tallest leader Aung San Suu Kyi is there, who is jailed. So, sir, I believe that the communities that exist around Myanmar in India that can help as a tool of back channel diplomacy, and a stable neighborhood will help us only.
Okay. And what is your father's profession?
Sir, my father owns a small workshop. He's a mechanic.
It's workshops, right? Fine. Now, once recently, when you talk about this automobile industry,
Sir,
right? People people are always prefers the showroom attached mechanic shops than the
sir.
individual mechanics things, right?
Sir.
It was been there. What is the reason for their moving towards the showroom based mechanics than the individual mechanics?
Um, Sir, I have not pondered about this issue, but if you allow, I can make a guess about it.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Sir, I believe that the showrooms that are attached to the mechanics will it's a nice business move in the direction that if someone is getting their vehicle repaired, and if you are also offering a new second option there, so they can visit there, and the footfalls that happen for the mechanization will also automatically go to the business showroom as well. So that might have some advantage. That might also increase sales as well.
Oh,
Apart from that, I'm not very sure about it, sir.
you are studied in what is that school name?
Sir, Simultala Avasi Vidyalaya, sir.
Okay. Have you heard of this word called mini Shimla?
Sir,
Anywhere?
sir,
What
sir.
is it?
Simultala, our Simultala that was in Jamui, Bihar, and there was our school. That is called Mini Shimla.
Okay. There is a word called divine rejuvenation. Have you heard of this word? Divine rejuvenation.
Divine Rejuvenation.
Ah,
No, sir,
have you
but
heard of this word?
no, sir, I've not heard.
Okay. What is the major from BHU, Banaras Hindu University, right? What is the major contribution of Madan Mohan Malviya, Triple M, to this BHU or to the Indian education?
Towards BHU, sir.
Hmm. Yeah.
Sir, yeah, he founded the formation of Banaras Hindu University in 1916 and also contributed to the educational development that was happening in India. He was also vocal about national unity and through the membership of Congress and its presidency also opposed the caste caste domination that was happening in Hinduism.
Okay. What is the ideological change which was happened in 1905 Indian National Congress,
1905.
1905 Congress,
Yes, sir.
when Madan Mohan Malviya was discussing about this university? Why this university and how it has ideologically impacted the Indian national?
Sir, in 1905, the one major change that happened was uh, the agendas of the extremist leader was included in the Congress session.
Okay.
But I'm not aware about Madan Mohan Malviya's context in that, sir.
Okay. There are many universities during that time. Bombay was University was there, Madras University was there, many universities there.
Sir.
This BHUs hold a specific significance in Indian national. This thought process. I know what is the thought process.
No, sir, not aware.
Okay. What is your motto of your college, university?
Motto of the university,
Yeah.
sir. Sir, it was Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam.
Meaning?
It's a Sanskrit phrase which means the union, the perfection in action is excellence.
Okay. Have you heard of the person called Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar? Is anyway related to your university?
I'm I'm not aware about the linkages, sir.
Okay, fine. Have you heard of this word called romanization of Indic languages?
Romanization.
Of Indic language, Indic languages.
No, sir, I haven't heard.
Right. So you are from ceramic engineering. Okay. What is this Bayes process?
Sir,
Bayes process. In
Ba-
ceramic industry, they used to say Bayes process.
sorry, sir, I have not revised the topic yet.
Okay. Fine. Have you heard of this word called Morbi district in anywhere in India?
Morbi district, sir, sir.
What is
Morbi
this? Why it's
district in
famous?
Gujarat, sir, it's famous for the ceramic tiles or pottery that is there. So it's called Ceramic City of India.
Oh. What is this? The pottery plays a play whenever we are talks about Indus Valley civilization, when it talks about Neolithic period always,
Right.
many items has been discussed. This pottery plays an important role in the in your history book. Why that pottery is so significant? It's after all pottery, no?
Sir. Sir, poetry gives the artistic sense of the times. For example, sometimes there is just red ware poetry. Sometimes it's a north polished poetry. So it gives the idea if the engineering and the scientific advancement of that times. So it can help to know a lot about that particular civilization as well.
Okay. Explain me what are the applications of these ceramics in space missions?
Space missions. Sir, the advanced ceramics basically are used in space sector for the thermal protection shield. As the spaceship go in the sky and a lot of air friction creates the rise of temperature. So the ceramic tiles are put as a space tiles and that is there. Also in insulators of the ceramic insulator of the spacecraft, it is used and there is this space nozzle, one specific part of the spacecraft that since ceramics are heat resistant, it is also employed there.
Mentioned about second. Contribution to the cultural council, IIT BHU. What is the what are the things you have contributed there? Cultural council.
Sir, basically I was part of a literary club and the dramatics club and I participated in lots of outstation fests and won some prizes as well. Also inside the council, I also started new initiatives on social media. So all this made me recognize the on for the honorable mention.
Okay. What do you say you wrote to get what do you say you wrote in this competition? First prize in English essay.
In the
Essay
essay
comp.
competition, sir.
What is the topic? What is the topic you wrote?
Sir, exact topic I'm not able to remember, but there was this theme of water conservation somewhere.
Okay.
Water conservation.
Okay. When you talk about this, I think pottery thing, any GI tax has been given to this pottery and pottery related items?
GI.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Okay. You mentioned as a head boy school, right? You have mentioned as a head boy school. Do you
Sir,
think that in educational institution, a particular person is called a school people leader or a particular person is called a class leader or topper? Do you think that it will create some sort of pressure on the other students?
Um, sir, that basically depends how the conception of head boy is there. Because when I was in my school, so there was this system where there will be rotation of the class representatives. So that's a democratic process, and also a lot of students' grievances that cannot be directly put to the principal. So the head boy or head girl used to act like a mechanism for that. So definitely we need to be mindful about creating some rift with this eliteness and non-eliteness.
Okay, fine. So what is this Varanasi word first? Can you throw some light on it?
Sir, basically it was the first ever word fest, like a fest, since Varanasi is the cultural capital of India. So a lot of literary tradition was there.
Mm.
But from the IIT side, there was no such initiative. So we, as engineering graduates, showed that we can also organize such fest, and lot of uh, people from cinema, from literary background, storytellers were invited, and it was organized at a pan Varanasi level.
What are the main reasons for decline in book reading habits among the children in India?
Sir, the digital revolution can be the one of the reasons. The time the children spend on social media. So earlier we had no option of these things. So book reading was considered as a good intellectual pastime. But now we have this video formatics of reels and shorts and text messages. So somehow uh, government has not tried to regulate from the earlier on, so there has been this natural shift towards these media.
Okay. So I mentioned about Hindi poetry and listening to ghazals here. Okay. In
So
these two headings, particular two headings, what is the recent Padma Award is given in 2026, the Republic Day? They were announced, right? Any particular item for this Padma Shri or Padma Vibhushan or
in the category of Hindi
yeah,
poetry.
in the category of poetry or in
Hmm.
category of ghazals?
Sorry, sir, I have not read the Padma Awards of
Okay, fine.
Madam. So,
When they talk about these ghazals,
so,
right? What talk about the ghazals, Sufism comes to my mind, right?
so.
How the Sufism has influenced these ghazals in India?
Sir, Sufism was a mystical experience within Islam.
Okay,
So they used to show their devotion through music, and ghazals have a musical element in itself, like
okay,
just like a poetry only,
hmm,
but it's a couplet which is rhythmic and in a same meter. So
okay,
there lot has been Sufi poets who have expressed their devotion through ghazals. So earlier it was limited to the devotion and an appeal to beloved only, but
okay,
later on it also transgressed into other areas, for example, social issues, life philosophies. So there has been this inherent connection.
okay. How this ghazal is different from Italian sonnet?
Uh, Sorry, sir, I'm not aware about Italian sonnet.
Okay. When you talk about the ghazal, we heard about music, we heard about many terms.
Sir,
I need you to explain me in a layman terms what is ghazal.
sir. So, sir, ghazal is a collection of couplets. Like two lines will be there, which is one couplet, and each couplet will be in the same rhythm and
Hmm.
same musical element, and it will end with a rhyming line only. So, and each couplet of the ghazal can have a separate identity. Like unlike poetry, they have not to be linked with each other. So, it's just like one person saying something and another person saying and adding another thing in the same musical element. So it's
Okay.
become like a group exercise in the as a good intellectual and musical hobby.
Now, what are the major symbols used in these ghazals?
Symbols, as in,
Symbols. Symbols.
uh, sir, pardon, symbols, I'm not able to understand.
Symbols of ghazals. Have you heard of this word? Symbols of ghazals?
Uh, Sorry, sir, I'm not able to understand this.
Ah, okay, fine. Whenever, what is the theme for the ghazals?
Themes.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, theme can be from romanticism to the protest to the social issue. Also, life philosophies can be there. The new age issues can be also included. So it has become a comprehensive poetic style.
Okay. Is there is any difference between symbols related to Indian ghazals and Persian ghazals?
Uh, Sir, Indian Ghazal has been influenced by Persian Ghazal only. Uh,
Okay.
the script and the language used to be different, but in India we have this Hindustani Ghazal where the words from both Hindi and Urdu are used.
Okay. Have you heard of the word called Aga Ali? Aga Shahid Ali. This person in any of the related to anything related to ghazal?
Sorry, sir, I haven't heard.
Okay. Can you recently last 3 to 4 years, many occasions, Prime Minister have used many ghazals, right? Can you recollect any ghazals where Prime Minister has quoted?
Um, Not our current Prime Minister, sir, but I remember a
Yeah,
former Prime Minister.
yeah, you can say. What is that one?
So, sir, so there was this debate going in Parliament between uh, late Sushma Swaraj and our late Prime Minister Manmohan Singh,
Okay.
and there was this ghazal which Sushma Swaraj said that uh, तू इधर उधर की बात न कर तू बता ये कारवां क्यों लूटा मुझे रहबरी से गिला नहीं मुझे रहजनों का सवाल है.
Okay.
So it was in the context of some issue. So
Okay.
our prime minister at that time replied that माना कि तेरी दीद के काबिल नहीं हूं मैं तू मेरा शौक देख मेरा इंतजार देख. So
Okay.
it was a graceful acceptance of the issues but also the efforts that's going on that time.
Okay. Have you heard of the person called Rumi?
Rumi, sir.
What is his original name? Any
Uh,
idea?
no, sir, I'm not aware.
Whenever in the Rumi's ghazals, Rumi and Rumi's ghazals, this wine plays a very important role. Wine, vineyards,
Yes, sir. Sir,
cupbearer. Actually, what it symbolizes that.
sir, well, yes, sir. This is important that we don't take it as a literal one. We
Okay.
take it as a state where we are away from the thoughts of rationality and we are in a love intoxicated by the love of something. So, if he says that we want to have the wine, it means he want to have uh, the human connection which is away from the societal bindings.
Okay.
Sir.
So can you give me 2 or 3 lines of one ghazal where it is for a person who has failed for more than 3 times in UPSC exams to like a motivation.
Sir.
You can think,
Sir.
you can take time, you can think, and you can answer me.
Sir, there's this ghazal of Bashir Badr Sahab, and in one of the share of that ghazal, he says that um, जिस दिन से चला हूं मंजिल पे नजर है मेरी, आंखों ने मील का पत्थर नहीं देखा।
Okay, over
सर।
to sir.
Aman, is my voice clear to you?
सर क्लियर।
Thank you, Nedumaran sir. Now, Aman, see Bihar. If you take Bihar, there are many reasons for the underdevelopment of Bihar.
सर।
However, if you observe the border states of Bihar, other states in North India, most of them have similar conditions only comparatively. However, Bihar is highly underdeveloped,
सर
even with respect to the states having similar geography. So, tell me three main reasons which are unique to Bihar for their underdevelopment.
Sir, to name three reasons for the underdevelopment of Bihar, first I would say the structural constraint that is there, the geography which makes it less mineral efficient and devoid of any ports, seaports. So that to some extent is the first structural reason. Despite that, also states could have progressed, but there is this lack of political will. The political stability has always been a big factor. Although we have a leader in our state, which has provided a leadership stability, but still there is this political instability, and that doesn't attract investors much. So that can be the second reason, sir. Third, sir, I would say that there is lack of social movement in Bihar. Like we see in the states of southern states of India, there has been this demand from people, and the politics of that state is based on the development. But here we see that people had accepted their fate. That okay, there is casteism, so will be there. So they have not revolted for a cause there. So that is all I can say, sir.
So, you mean to say the people of Bihar are not demanding the government for something, right? Not
Sir,
demanding for development, am I right?
sir, there has been not a pan Bihar level movement for that. There has been intellectual which are calling for it, but it's not very vigorous in the demand.
Okay. So, do you think a movement, such kind of movement, is real required now? According to you, for development of Bihar, is a pan Bihar movement required? Questioning the government and demanding the government?
Sir, I believe that such a social movement is necessary, and the civil society, the women, the intellectual class, all should put this at the center of politics, and then we can definitely see a change through this.
Okay. See, if you look at other states also, development model cannot be same for every state. For
Sir,
example, sometimes you might have heard Gujarat development model. Every state will have their own development model, right? So for
sir.
Bihar, let us say you are the CM of Bihar. Tell me which development model would you take up unique to Bihar? Try and tell me in the 3 to 4 points. Major development model.
Sir, first of all, sir, I would try to find out the existing potentialities of our state. For example, we are an agrarian state. So agro processing industry, food processing industry. So these can be easily scaled up and we can achieve that. Second, sir, the development industry is going through transition through the digital intervention and disruption that is happening. So I would try to educate people in Bihar through AI, blockchain, so that we can take a first mover advantage. So, sir, that is also we can do.
So really, for development model of Bihar, you suggest AI and digitalization is at the forefront of Bihar development if you become CM. Okay.
Sir, sir, I believe that, sir, it's a new thing in the world for India as well. But if we take the first mover advantage, it will be advantageous. Also, sir, Bihar has the highest number of youth population. So instead of these population migrating to some other states, if we skill in Bihar only and do some intervention there, so we can do that.
Okay. See, Aman, tomorrow, 27th, tomorrow, India is going to sign free trade agreement FTA with whom?
European Union, sir.
So it's a kind of geopolitical insurance for India, right?
Sir.
See, presently, if you look at the world, there is protectionism almost around the world. So, in this context, tell me how FTA can really change the face.
Sir. Sir, for example, the India exports good to the US and the other states of the world. So, FTA with since we are seeing a disruption in the regime of WTO, which was supposed to ensure a global trade rule, but that is not happening. So, if these FTA will create us the safe passage of the goods and the services that we are doing. So, European Union is already our the largest trading partner as a bloc. So if we ensure the agreement with that, it will help for goods, for the movement of natural person as well, and the services as well.
See, what you said is the basic FTA for any country.
Sir.
Any country is almost same. I'm expecting
Sir.
from you something unique between India and European Union. Anyhow, so tell me, what are the major roadblocks? See, FTA is in pipeline from many years, but it is getting to get realized on tomorrow. So, what is the major challenge because of which we could not sign FTA? All these years we're fighting for it, could not sign it. What is the major challenge which present government is able to, solve the problem? Finally, we're able to sign the FTA. What is the challenge?
Sir, in the context of EU or in general?
EU.
EU, sir. Sir,
This
for EU,
FTA with EU, which we are planning from several decades, several years, unable to
sir,
do it. Tomorrow,
sir.
you're able to do it. So, what is the thing?
Sir, there was many structural issues between India and EU. For example, the wine industry of the EU that we employ a lot of tariffs on. So it was one of the uh, is irritant in the relation. Also, the non-tariff barrier that EU pushes for in the context of the human rights, that is also one of the issues there. The movement of natural person is one of the biggest hurdle where India is defensive but EU is offensive. So the current government has worked out in this area and pushing for it.
Okay, over to Ranjit sir.
Sir.
Hello,
Sir.
Aman.
Hello, sir.
Sir, see, when it comes to Bihar state, it is generally observed that the western part of Bihar, compared to the eastern part of Bihar, the areas of Kishanganj, Purnia, and that area, we have seen major economic development or major political parties or major leaders coming from western Bihar compared to eastern Bihar. Why is tell me reasons why it is so?
Sorry, sir, I've not studied on this matter.
Okay. And in your previous answer, you said that in Bihar, you have had leadership stability, but not political stability. You said there is political instability, but leadership stability. What do you mean by that?
Sir, by that sentence, I mean that the especially after 2005, the Honorable CM Nitish Kumar has become a face of the development of Bihar, and he was often associated with good governance. So he is there in the helm since 2005, which is almost 20 years. But we have seen that he has switched to a lot of parties for the coalition in the midterms. So that has impacted the stability and actually work as a deterrent for the investing and other infrastructure.
But one thing here is you talk about political instability, it refers to political ideology. You are talking about 2005, right from 1990, Bihar has been ruled either by one party or other party, but they are following socialism, Samajwad. It
Sir.
is the common theme of any political coalition, even though, as you mentioned, that political alliances have been switched. But the core idea of Samajwad has not left any alliance from 1990 till now.
Sir.
Then what do you think is actually stopping
Sir,
the development?
sir, I agree that we have this socialist style government since 1990s. But sir, there has been lot of variation within socialism also. A lot of socialists believe in extending the reservation criteria to the poorest, but some might believe in it in a limited way only. So, sir, socialism, apart from socialism, sir, we have also came in a era of globalization and privatization. So on these stands, the stands of parties varies, which create differentiations.
Okay. So you are an alumni of IIT BHU.
Sir,
We have had many honorable alumni from IIT BHU in bureaucracy, in politics. Tell me one IIT BHU alumni from who is in bureaucracy and who you feel as an inspiration.
um, sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall IIT BHU alumni.
It's fine. In your DAF, you have mentioned your second option as IRS,
Sir,
IRS Customs, right?
sir,
So why so?
sir, IRS customs gives a lot of diverse opportunities to work. For example, in indirect taxes, also in narcotics and the customs offices that happen. So the field exposure is the primary reason for doing so.
But field exposure and multi-dimensional role, you can get better in IAS, don't you think so?
Sir, that's why IAS I have put on the first choice.
Okay. And any, for that matter, IPS, which you have not put above
Sir,
it?
sir, I don't fulfill the criteria of height for the IPS, but I
Okay.
also didn't wanted to leave the DAF blank, so I put it below IRS.
Okay. And you said your interest is in Hindi poetry and ghazal.
Sir,
A new form of poetry which is becoming very popular among youngsters is slam poetry. What do you
sir.
mean? What is slam poetry?
Sir, basically, I would say the slam poetry is a storyization of the poetry. The poetry which was usually considered as a thing of rhyming couplets, and there was this element of lot of disguising in there. But the slam poetry is kind of the corporatization of the poetry where a story is being told in a form of poetry and the audience react in a different way. So I have attended few slam poetry sessions.
Okay. And what is the difference between a ghazal and a qawwali?
Sir, the meters can be same for the ghazals and the qawwali. The structure can be same, but qawwali is basically sung in groups, and it can be a devotional poetry as well. It can be attributed to a lover, beloved as well. But the ghazal, the scope of ghazal is more than qawwali, and it encompasses lot of philosophical ideas, social issues as well.
See, famously, our ex-Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee said, we can choose our friends, we cannot choose our neighbors. In that regard, we have many popular ghazal singers and qawwals from Pakistan who are very famous even in our country. Do you think we can open that channel with Pakistan where we can have their musical concerts, their programs here in India?
Sir, we can do that, but again, we have seen that the artists of that particular country has been very given anti-India sentiment statements as well. So we have this clear policy that no music diplomacy or cricket diplomacy in that regard will happen if terrorism is being sponsored by the state. So, in my personal opinion, that might not be very good thing for the music, but for the state per se, it's a good step and I support it.
So when you say they give anti-India statement, so what would you recommend to a layman like me? For example, if I like the ghazal of any, let's say Faiz Ahmad Faiz or any of the Pakistani ghazal singer, I like it, but he has given anti-India statement. So what should do? I should stop listening to that ghazal?
No, sir. I don't support that you should not listen it or somebody should not even watch it. Thankfully, we have digital technologies and we all have access to that. We should do that. But as a state, we cannot promote the physical cultural exchanges. Digitally, it might happen. Music is free for everyone. It is away from the international boundaries. But we have boundary in our relationships.
Sure. Thank you, sir. That's all from my side.
Okay, Aman. Now, sir will give the feedback.
Sir,
Yeah. Come on.
sir.
So, how was your interview?
Sir, I believe there were a lot of areas from the DAF which I would have prepared well. Very simple areas from BHU, from the IIT and the Pol Science. But I believe in the expression I has been good enough.
Okay, fine. So what you said is right, exactly. So when you talk, I can go by whatever I asked and related to that one. When I
Sir,
ask that aspirant and other thing, that is just like to make you chill,
sir,
right? You don't need to be very tense, get tensed on that particular area, and no need to give the clear explanation. You maybe kept that at Gmail at your younger age, right? So that when you kept that one, that does not have much meaning. So
yes,
when you start explaining aspirant means like motivation, like your explanation goes one point beyond one point of time, it
okay,
feels like you are prepared,
okay,
right?
sir. I should have taken it casually.
Board loves always surprises. Surprise answer from you, and you should show the face that a surprise goes into, right?
Sir,
So your answer was right. What you said was right, but it was went with a very fast flow. That means you are already prepared some 2 marks for that one. Understand? So even sometimes you know the answer also, you make it like get it slow and always allow the board to give the subsequent question to you,
sir.
right? Whenever you are giving something, when you are allow them to give subsequent question to you, it feels like they are asking and you are answering. They are asking and you are answering. It will goes very well. It looks like the entire board that this guy is answering everything, right? So that means they have to ask 3 questions instead of you are giving 3 answers at the first. So that you keep it in mind whenever you're answering the questions. Something you have to keep, it's usually they'll call us bait, right? Where I am very strong, I should keep the bait. That
Wait.
means I should stop it that so that that particular member should put the question on that one, then I will answer them,
Okay, sir.
right? And make sure that one, the persons from, usually they says that one, IIT, persons from IIT or medical colleges, particularly top universities, they use the bait for all the business. That's
Okay,
the
sir.
reason the success percentage is less. You should be also very careful that one. I should not put the bait in every question so that they should not come to the conclusion. I think this guide is guiding the interview. He is giving direction. That should not come. At the same time, some areas you should put the bait.
Sir.
Right. Next one is this: when you talk about 1999 Y2K problem, clearly have a clear idea, because this 1999 born, it's something like they used to call as a digital divide. The smartphone, not smartphone. So he was born at the period. Even there are many psychological studies also there that 1999 born how they are. Just casually look at that one, because these are the areas where these are the areas there is no right answer.
Sir.
But these are the areas where you can impress the board that you are just looked out of box thinking. Out of things also you are learned. That will give one good picture, right? Next one regarding this beetle nut. Actually, beetle, this panwari means nothing but a hut actually. That shady atmosphere that beetle leaves are grown. That is the reason panwari. They used to say that one, panwari. It's a very famous terminology. So if anything related to beetle, how it is formed, how it is grown, where it is grown, like that, it will go in any directions from the beetle. So regarding chemicals, whether it is advisable, non-advisable, that directions you can. Regarding next related to the particularly, that's why this particular DAF component is very important. Beetle nut, when you talk about the beetle, that's crucial. This one. Other things are there are some questions where you are talked about. The real answer comes second or third, not at the first. When is the Taiwan is why Taiwan is important to China? If I put a question, right? Either should have said it's a strategical location, or immediately the chip is the matter. Semiconductor chip is the first thing to come.
Okay, sir.
Because sometimes what happens, when you start that one, like a common point, any
Sir.
part of the land is useful for any country. It is something like you are starting a definition of an answer. Sometimes what happens, the board member or somebody may stop the answer. Okay, fine, I'll go to the next. That means the real answer will not come in time when you are
Okay.
done. So
So I
whenever
just
you're answering any questions, the very first should comes, what is the original thing?
original things.
That is enough. So that ordering of answer also very important. The Taiwan answer, you gave it the last one as the chip. Semiconductor industry, the major chip policies are there beyond South. There are so many related to Taiwan. So that has to come at the very first moment. The Bhojpuri cinemas is good. Actually, Bhojpuri cinemas, your integrity is very good. You are accepted that, yes, it is seen. But you have to explain why it is.
Sir.
Because the next question will be why it is obscene or sex or vulgarity. Actually, every Bhojpuri cinemas has initially from the beginning the upper class versus lower class, a city versus village. That will be the theme of the Bhojpuri cinemas when they start.
Okay,
So
sir.
a village guy will be there, a migrant laborer will be there. How he suffers, and the villains are who are the anti elements will be a city guy.
Okay,
And
sir.
the village will be shown as the good, and the city will be always shown as the bad. This sort of things has to came. And second thing, the most of the people loves this cinemas comes from the lower and up, lower middle class and the poor sections.
Sir.
For them, the language to easy to communicate is something when we talk about obscene or vulgarity. It
Sir.
naturally flows. That's the reason that cinema initially introduced it. But it has contributed major to the Bhojpuri cinema. When you're talking about any cinema, never ever compare with any industry. The Bollywood word should not come to you. If suppose I am a very keen follower of Bollywood industry, I will get hurted because of what you said, something like comparison to Bollywood. Don't compare. Whenever some answers are going, don't try to compare that one. Sometimes but our discussions was going only with Bhojpuri cinemas. I never used a word called Bollywood, and you should never use a word called Bollywood for any sort of comparison. That comparison will unnecessarily put you in the wrong things,
Sure.
right? And regarding when it comes to that question, this Bihar question, right, followed by a European Union question by SAR's Bihar question, then Western European question. Do you know what is the reason for this sort of questions? The
No,
main
sir.
reason is that always keep it in mind. Try to put the examiner not to move out of your tab.
Okay, sir.
Don't move them. Don't allow them to move out of the tab. If you are allowing them to move out of the tab, their intellectual mind will come into play. They know every XYZ. Yeah, they have 30, 40 years experience in field. Every issue they have like thing. And moreover, whatever their questions they are asking, it will be sensitive to answer. At the same time, it is very difficult to defend also.
Sir.
So try to keep always in the depth.
Sir,
When you're moving out of the depth,
how I can do that? How I can do?
I asked about BeetleNet, right?
Sir.
You should drag me some more time in the BeetleNet.
Okay, sir.
Right? When I talk about BHU, right? Banaras Hindu University, I asked about Bharas Hindu University. Sir was asking about alumni, right? That last ask. And I asked about the motto.
Sir, just one point. Can I just?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, you asked a beautiful question about Shimla. What was it? It was
actually that's
mini Shimla. That was a question which was he could have utilized it very well. Like he could have stuck. It is a case in point to what you are saying, sir.
Exactly. And second, I given a hint also recently. The divine tourism. They will say it's a divine origination. Now that particularly there are so many companies particularly placing their resorts there in that, and the tourism has developed divine in the name of divine origination in this particular area. That's why I want him to talk more about the mini Shimla. Why it's mini Shimla? Because of this one. That's why I put the word. Even I'm not asked about why it is called the mini Shimla. I asked mini Shimla. I gave the open thing, then let him talk about it. Understand? Similarly, like Banaras Hindu University, there was so much of universities throughout in India at that time. But Banaras University was the ideology that first time bringing English inside to teach everything. Second important thing is during 1905, when the INC Congress, the discussion was happening, when it was presented, they said that one, science is mainly needed along with the culture. Once a science, that means a technical component first time introduced in the Indian education system was this Madan Mohan Malviya. That was the contribution BHU came into your picture. That's why even, but still now we will be talking Butler English, they used to say. Butler gave a high comment, high regards for this fellow, because he talks, his focus, vision is beautiful. How come this particular thing came into the book? Because Indian national movement comes in different style of dimensions to fight. This is one of the very particular dimension. When a budget was given, a poem about a poetry about poverty was written. Yes, article about that. It is something like fighting intellectually. BHU is like a fighting intellectual in Indian national movement. So you have to talk more about that. When I talk about the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, he was the person gave that, I think wrote the song, some theme songs for your BHU. They used to say, Kuljit or Kulkit, I forget actually. There is one song or something attached to it.
BHU song is there, yes, sir.
It was penned by Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar.
Yes.
I vaguely remember, but don't forget that. Similarly, when I want to introduce to Bhojpuri song, when I'm not sure about it's Rajendra Prasad, some president of India asked certain directors to direct a Bhojpuri movie. I remember this word like, "Oh Mother Ganga," in the form of yellow sari.
Oh Ganga Maiya Tore Piyari Chadhai wo.
Exactly. That was the first Bhojpuri movie. I'm sure.
Yes.
So when I put such questions, it's something like you have to entertain me.
Okay.
I remember the people sitting in the interviews are sitting for almost 3 months. And they used to, every time used to hear about the questions, whatever the questions asked, and these answers also. Something deviated, different, entertaining thing, always they love, and it is very easy for us to not get into the trouble. It's easy for you to answer a BHU, it is easy for you to answer about a Bhojpuri Salma, then it is very difficult to give a word called political will. When your word political will comes, you will be bombarded. But really, it's a fact. We are accepting that fact. We are not saying it is not. But putting that political will in different word, you have to use it. You started beautifully, a landlocked state. I was like impressed. Good. You started beautifully landlocked. So geographically, is trying to do. Immediately, you are blamed the people. Immediately, you are not blamed the government. Political will. Political will is the common statement by any fellow outside thinking that the politicians are corrupted. Politicians are not alone the system. Bureaucracy also there. Many NGOs are there. Why the NGOs does not fight against them if they're not the people? Why there are no more? Why only the people to fight? Second thing is why to fight? Many states has never had any pan-India level movements to get their rights. So these are the very controversial areas. In the controversial areas, you touch it, and the words, if just to move out, then you will be bombarded with areas and you will get little bit tensed. Understand? So your political, actually the political will has started the back-to-back questions to everyone, and the interview went little bit shaky. I understood. The reason is that one small word can change my entire thinking that one. Right? And second thing you mentioned about, you are trying to connect something. They always love to use I used to use the word desi. Whenever you are giving solutions or whenever you are giving answer, try to put it in a desi manner, not like a complete 100%. My state is an agrarian state. I want AI to introduce. It's something like he's writing article to me. Right? Instead of that, what you can do, that one you mentioned as a processed industries. Whichever vegetables, whichever crops they are growing, sir, it was at the farm gate, it was, we are manufacturing more, we are growing more, but it is not hitting the market. There was wastage. So I will develop certain small things. Then you put it at the last, block technology and AI. Right? You are saying 50 years, my people has never demanded anything, and you are going to introduce AI at the immediate minute. It's something like, it's like what you can say, I'm writing essay, that's all, to impress somebody. I'm not a administrator, I'm not a thinker to give you a solution. When you give that Jerusalem answer, it was a fantastic answer. It was a fantastic answer till you can add more, because we said that one, a dialogue to be done, that is a common answer. I can understand common answer. Now, what you have to do? I'm saying three people always comes with the religion, talks about the religion. I mentioned about hypothetical question. That means you are free hands.
Sir.
That is the area where you have to think out of box to give some solutions. Sir, I call the three people. You said community dialogue. Instead of said you said to answer good, it was good, but you can improve more. I called all the three religion people. I will get there what is the significant about the religion, good important practices, best practices which a human needs. I will mix it together. I create a center in Jerusalem, a particular place so that everybody can understand what significance. So, and you can blame it political will and Western Europe, Western Europe and Eastern Bihar comparison. I cannot be a person from Bihar. Understand? Similarly, when I talk about mechanical steaming, know everything.
Sir.
It will be, comes out of just like that. They'll ask about what is the your father's brain. When you talk something against him, I will always have bias. You mentioned about CM Nitish Kumar, political stability went everywhere. There are political stability in every state in India at one point of time. That does not mean they're not developed. So when you are giving that answer, said fantastically. That ghazals, you don't need to use the name of the minister. Why you want to use the minister? Sir, there was a minister, there was a two conversation is going in the parliament. You may not don't want to Mr. Sushma Sivaraj, madam. Maybe I may hate. Who knows? Understand? So better that point, that are the areas where I can leave it. Why to create unnecessary tension for the people? Why to create unnecessary, why to get that one? Your man was good. And European Union question, there are questions sometimes what happens, right? If I'm answering and 5 different English you may be hearing. Understand?
Sir.
When I ask something, you keep on mentioning 3 or 4 times, it will create some sort of underpieces actually. Understand?
Okay.
See the debate program, see the Malayalam, that one, this sort of problems you won't face it. Because one point of, sir, I'm not able to get it, you are right. That is because of this, there is a reason. Once you start working this one, I think it is fine. Remaining things, the music diplomacy. Sir is giving hint to here, develop that one. Right? Sometimes we should not be always anti-Pakistan. Right? Sir is saying, with this ghazal, he is giving hint to you, with this ghazal, how you will create a diplomacy. That is what Sir's answer. When they're asking some answers, you should keep it in mind what sense they are asking this question. They are asking music diplomacy to be, you develop a music diplomacy. There was other side of the people are saying it was something different. They are saying something different. This music diplomacy should be created. This should be make a good way to understand the country. Every time country cannot be enemy. At one point of time, it has to be friend. So that music diplomacy should have handled better, because he has given a beautiful clue that music diplomacy has to go. That was very interesting. And regarding ghazals, many people knows ghazals now, right? Symbols in ghazals, they usually say symbols in ghazals. Wine, cup bearer, idols.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
These are called some 12 symbols, frequently used 12 symbols.
I will see that. Sir.
You are explaining beautifully why that wine word is coming. It's spiritual, divine, everything. And Rumi's name, you should know. Any person who knows ghazals knows Rumi's name. Understand? The Rumi name will be, they will be keep on asking this Rumi or Rumi related questions. right? When you regarding the motivation ghazals, you did good. That was very good, very fantastic answer. And what else? Give me 1 minute. I wrote them, but feedback. Ceramic industry. I'll come to the ceramic industry. Morbi is you immediately identified what is that Morbi. Talk something to the board. They may not be aware. They may be unaware. Some examiner interviewer question may be 100% 0%. When Sarah was asking about Western Bihar and Eastern Bihar, I was expecting what sort of answer will come. So sometimes I may be blank. Some examiner may be blank in that one. So you have to play with that. So GA tags, Padma awards, this will come random. Like I put it like random only. Padma, since you have said poetry ghazals, that you may be just following up what are the news is happening in and around. That is the reason I put pottery, civilization. That for civilization answer why the pottery was used is fantastic. What you gave that one, the knowledge about the thing, that was fantastic, right? And finally, regarding this head boy answer was good, right? First thing you have to check it is whether it will create a pressure, but we have to handle it, sir. That's what the scenario. You said that one, it is very sensitive, it has to be handled right. But first you try to defend, and in the mid you just move, and finally said that one, it should be handled carefully. Because interview, this is the common I heard from so much of people for the last 5 years. Whenever you are mentioned as a head boy, a school people leader, an outstanding student, immediately the examiner put question, what thing made you think like outstanding? Why others are not outstanding? In what sense outstanding is calculated? Even one of my student went there, define outstanding to me. That was the word given. So whenever you are using the words like word first or people leader, head boy, contribution, you should be very clear. You wrote a essay that got a district level prize and you forget the essay topic. And you're saying, I fairly don't. Even you say something lie also, I can't retain. No? See what topic you wrote in essay. I have no idea. Right? I forget is not the answer actually. You can say anything also. And a follow-up question will come in that area. Right? So that one I noted. Right? Next thing is that regarding book reading, you should think it of more and answering that why the book reading is declined in right? Because the reason is that there was a statistics after digital media comes into picture, people reading book became more. Understand? You mentioned about the decline reason you mentioned about the digital reading has been reduced. Actually, after comes that one, I am even how come I know about Rumi? Rumi's book, I can't get it in market. I have only in digital format, I am getting that one. So digital increased that one. But what happened? The society, the family structure has changed the reading habits into different. When I am a father sitting with a home, obviously my son also will do the same thing. If I am the father sitting in the book in the home, automatically my son will take a book. So that was missed action. That was missed. So you have to talk about that aspects. In digital, it's not actually declined. The statistic, as per the statistic, digital has increased the people who are following that. Overall, it was good, but try to get about the Agha Shahid Ali. Agha Shahid Ali is a Kashmiri poet. He's the person known throughout the world. He has translated all the Urdu as well as other languages into English. First time Ghazal opened to the world through this guy. He's a Kashmiri poet. Agha Shahid Ali. I think 2006 or 7, I'm not vaguely remember. He had given Padma Shri Award. 2024-25, recently. I vaguely remember. Agha Shahid Ali. That was the name of that person. He was a Kashmiri poet. His main thing is that he's the person translated most of the ghazals into English to the world. So his contribution. Italian sonnet, it's okay, fine. You are just immediately I put the questions and you manage that one with Italian sonnet. Then what else? What else? My questions? Yeah, it's. These are the overall thing. Remember, based on questions, it's not only based on the questions. This is the format you have to take it when you are answering any sort of questions. Okay? Okay, all the best.
So, Aman, is my voice clear to you?
Sir.
Aman, see, don't start any answer. See, actually, overall, you are positive. You have positive outlook towards things, okay, which is very good. Optimism is there. However, few places observed that you are starting the answer with a negative connotation. For example, when Sir asked you about Myanmar, to start by telling that India is not very vocal about democracy. Why to start with that? India is not very vocal about democracy. You start with what India is doing positively. Towards the end, maybe you can tell constructive criticism. You can tell maybe we can do like this, or maybe we can do. You cannot say that India is not very vocal democracy. Similarly, other question also, like how Sara told about Bihar. See, there may be many reasons. In your mind, when a point comes, no need to tell that point immediately. Take once, for example, geography, locked. Bihar is landlocked. The point came into your mind, you told the point. Good. Next point that came into your mind is lack of political will. Though the point comes, wait for a second. Think of another point. Maybe historical reason you can think. Or agriculturally, Bihar is flood prone mostly, flood prone. Or lack of industries we can talk about, lack of industries in Bihar. Means think of something else. No need to tell everything. Of course, even Myanmar also, India is not very vocal, is maybe correct point only. No, tell it out. Hold for some
Okay,
time, get another point in the mind, tell that point. Okay?
sir.
That's
Once again, sir, just sorry to interrupt.
no, sir.
Same line, the same line, WTO, you started with the negative. This WTO is not fit for anything. Like that, you started. Then you went to FTA. Same line. Sir said, na, opening answer with a positive note, not always with a negative. That same WTO also said WTO nowadays is not doing. It's your tone came to me like WTO is not fit organization now. Now only possibility is FTL. Some sort of it was made. Sorry, sir, to interrupt.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's a good point. See, actually, Aman, I don't know. Maybe you are watching debates or reading articles from somebody who is completely anti-India. I don't know. I'm just telling you. Some negative-minded person's debates, maybe you're seeing, maybe I don't know. My suggestion is in the next few days before going to interview, see the interviews or read the books of somebody who is very positive about India. Particularly go for bureaucrats. If bureaucrats do something, go for that. Not some journalists who are anti-Indian. Better. See, overall, very good. I'm telling most of the international institutions, state, center, your approach is negative, slightly negative. Okay, be careful about it because you're entering into bureaucracy. You're not entering into journalism. Understand?
Sir,
You can tell negative also, but in a positive way. That's all. You can tell
okay.
whatever you want, open. Also, see, as are told, sorry sir, to tell again, see, regarding Banaras University, if you are from some other normal college, maybe questions will not come. You are from BHU. Everybody knows about BHU. So take half day time, use ChatGPT, something Gemini, read about the alumni of BHU, how it started, what is the importance of BHU, its role in India's development. Read about all those things. You must read. You must read. And like how Nedumaran sir told very clearly, if you observe his questions, he has some idea about Bhojpuri, Bihar, something. As a person from South India, he wants to know from you. That's all. He wants to know. So, Aman, you have BHU. There is something. He tells something. Then you have to fill the point. You have to actually in interview is not on testing you. He wants to know something from you basically. He wants to know something from you. You tell him that about your area, your college, your school, your language, your movies, your place. You tell him from your the perception, so that he will know all those things. He wants to know from you. It's not that he's testing. Actually, you will know more than him. He may have idea of everything, but you will know more than him because you are native of that. That's all. So think it in that way. That's to prepare very well and tell them, sir, tell them with happiness. Tell them with happiness. Don't tell them as if they're testing you. They're not testing you. They want to know from you. So the idea itself is know from you. Okay, that's all. Remaining, sir has covered. See, sir has actually given you feedback for almost everything. So I told you, go through it once again. Otherwise, there is no point. If you do not go through the feedback once again, Aman, there is no point. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, I'll go, definitely go, sir.
Yeah. Anjit, you want to add something? Or shall
Just a couple of quick points, sir.
Yeah.
First thing, when it comes to Bihar, I felt somewhere you were too attached to bias towards Bihari people while answering questions related to Bihar. You were like, politicians did not, the sense I was getting was politicians did not do anything. People also do not do anything. we have decided that this is our fate. And that is a very pragmatic or a negative outlook. And that will lead to a different direction, which will not be very comfortable or favorable to you. That is one thing I suggest you change that perspective. Try to be more objective or more neutral while analyzing things. Second, be very careful with the choice of words. You said Bihari people not revolted for a cause. And that is very wrong. Champaran Satyagraha of Indian independence, Sampurna Kranti of J.P. Narayan, all this originated from the land of Bihar, and that someone non-Bihari like me also knows. And in the board, there is a high probability you might get someone who is from Bihar or who knows about Bihar. So when you use some loose words like this, you will be caught. Similarly, you said AI blockchain, we will have first mover advantage. No, you can't have. Bangalore, Hyderabad, they have done so much work that globally we are in top 3 of AI first mover advantage. They gave advantage to the country itself globally. So, sometimes we use words which might seem a bit loose to the examiner, and then they will grill on you. How can you have a first mover advantage on AI when many Indian companies are doing so well? So these are two limited points. Nedumaran sir has done very well, covered all my areas very well, but just these 2 points. Be neutral, objective while talking about Bihar. Of course, read more about Bihar, West Bihar, and this, it was very expected. And third is, be very careful with the choice of words. These are my limited points. Thank you.
Sir, thank you, sir.
One
Aman?
more thing.
Yeah, please, sir.
The Sarah said was exactly right. Like your answer, sometimes what happened, you look like your answer something like you are a visiting NRI to Bihar. Right? Bureaucracy never wants a visiting NRI to Bihar. They want a Bihari person to talk about Bihari problems in Bihari style.
Sir.
That's what actually, right?
Welcome.
And whatever we said, actually, 100% I gave only negative feedbacks to you. Never even a positive feedback. The reason being that here more negative feedbacks. Mocks are always for negative feedbacks only. That is the area to get corrected. Never get demotivated on this one. There are just to check you. There are certain areas, certain things, certain questions. If these questions may not come, but I'm asking you to be aware of everything. Anything can happen. And if you think 40 questions in your mind, it will come at least 5 questions will come there.
Sir.
That's why we are opening up every areas.
So, Aman, so see, 80 to 85% you have done very well. But like how Sir told, we don't want to tell about 85%. We want to tell about the 15% where you haven't done well, so that you can improve. Our overall objective is that you have to improve your marks by at least 20 marks. You have to improve. Okay. So you have done very well. I hope you normally also you get very good score only. When is the interview? Final interview? Date? I forgot the date.
Sir, 12 February.
12th.
Sir.
Okay, Aman. Go through once again. All the best. Okay.